Hi, I'm Trish. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to make zucchini casserole. And this is really easy, really yummy, and your kids are going to love it. All we need to get started, I'm only cooking for 2 people, so I've got 2 zucchinis and half of an onion. We are going to start by chopping our zucchini, and we'll just chit chat as we like to do. My husband is interviewing for a job today, and I wanted him to have something that smelled good, that was warm and comforting to come home to. I'm hoping that he does a really good job and this works out. I think it's a position that he really wants. And I'm going to slice this into quarters. This recipe will probably come in handy late summer when I literally have zucchini just about coming out my ears. It seems like our zucchini really thrives. I've been starting with my vegetable garden planning already, and I'm trying to decide what to put in. I love carrots, but carrots do not do well for me. I use a lot of real estate and get very little reward. But it's okay. Right now they're $1.89 at the store, so it doesn't break the bank to buy a bag of carrots each week. I would like to be a little more independent and self-sufficient, but we do the best we can. Zucchini always comes out with a bumper crop. I'd like to be a little more successful with my tomatoes this year too. I go through a lot of tomato products. I don't even know if I can guess how many pounds a week I might use. Potatoes, I've had marginal luck with potatoes. And again, that's another thing that it's like $3 for 5 pounds. So far, so good. But you never know with the weird economy and, the immigration policies. I think that the farmers might have a difficult time finding some help for harvest season. And that might cause all of us to pay a little more at the grocery store. Not to mention the fuel prices are up, so shipping these things, especially to places in the country where they don't grow, that's going to cost more too. And I'm just trying to think ahead and be proactive so that we're not caught off guard and it doesn't change our budget dramatically. And anything that we can grow does ease our budget. We're really fortunate to have a nice big yard where we can put gardens in. But I've always grown something, no matter where I live, even if it's a bucket garden on the balcony of an apartment. I've done that before. We lived in a camper for a couple of years. I think I was going through a little hippie era and I wanted to be off grid. So we moved into our camper and I had a bucket garden. That was kind of fun. I use sweet onions in everything I do. I just love sweet onions. I think that the red and purple variety onions, those are just really bitter and sharp for me, and it doesn't suit my palate, but you should use what works for you. Yellow onions are usually really cheap and easy to come by, so those can be used in place. I need to qualify that this is not technically vegetarian because I'm using stovetop stuffing. Now, we're going to pour our onions into our pan. I have the oven preheating and it needs to be 375. I'm going to pour in about 2.5 cups of water, not a lot. And then I'm going to put these on the stove with no seasoning, and we're going to let the vegetables get tender. While that starts to boil, I'm going to take our packet of stovetop stuffing, and because I've halved the recipe, I don't need as much stuffing as you would for the full recipe, but we also like it. So I'm probably going to use more than what you might want to. I'm going to divide the packet into 2 parts. And you want to make sure you get seasoning in both parts. Okay, this is going to be for the top, so we're going to set this aside. This is going to be for the main casserole. And next, I am going to scramble an egg. There we go. I'm going to add some sour cream. And I know that a lot of ladies use mayonnaise for this. I'm going to use cottage cheese. It's creamy. It's what I have on hand. And I want to add all of that. I'm going to mix that in with my egg. Okay, that's what it looks like right there. Then I'm going to add the stovetop stuffing mix. Okay, and this is important, only add about half your cheese. Now, I always say measure from your heart, and I do mean that. I've probably used about a cup of cheese. I think I used 3/4 of a cup of sour cream and about 2/3 of a cup of cottage cheese. Okay, we are going to use this as a mixing bowl, and we're going to pour a little bit of the water from our boiling vegetables into this to moisten the bread, and then we're going to drain the vegetables completely. This is what our mixture looks like while we're waiting. We're going to add our vegetables to that. This is the topping that we have, and I've added 2 pats of butter to my bread pan. I also have some cheese in reserve. Here are my zucchini and onions. Just going to check and see if they're tender. It shouldn't be too hard to get the fork through. Okay, I like that. I think that those are done. My zucchini is tender, so I pulled it off the stove, and I'm going to drain a little bit of the water into the leftover stuffing. We don't want to overdo it because this is going to be our topping. And we just want this to be damp enough that it can get crispy on top. All right, I've got a spoon. I'm going to stir this up. Looks like maybe it could use a little more. There we go. That's perfect. That's just slightly drier than if I was going to make this and serve it as a side dish. I'm going to drain the rest of the liquid from the vegetables into the sink. I've drained my vegetables and they're ready to add to the mixing bowl. I'm going to mix all this together. This is our half of the stuffing, the egg, the sour cream, the cottage cheese, and the cheddar cheese. If you need to make this gluten-free, you can use gluten-free breadcrumbs instead if you'd prefer. And just add a little bit of onion powder and sage and vegetable seasoning. You'll get the same result. This actually has more volume than I anticipated, just making a half portion. So I am going to rethink my plan, and I'm going to put this into an 8x8 square pan. Sometimes we have to be adaptable in cooking, in life. Oh, not only does this look beautiful with all the green, it smells delicious. I'm going to take the rest of our stuffing and I'm going to put that over the top. I haven't tried it, but I suspect you could do this with green beans, maybe broccoli. I think that there are some other possibilities. If you use a different type of vegetable and you love it, let me know in the comments. We all want to get in on a good thing, right? Okay, good call on switching pans. That's what it looks like. I am going to cover this with the remaining cheese. And then I'm going to put it in the oven with a cover on it. We're going to give this about 35 minutes and then we'll check it. If you've watched me for a while, you know that I don't have a lot of fancy equipment and I'm used to just making do with what I have. So what I've done here, because I don't want to use aluminum foil and be wasteful, I've just taken another cookie sheet and I'm using that as a lid to cover it. That will keep the cheese from getting too brown too quickly. Okay, my timer just went off and I think this is ready for prime time. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Let's get this plated and taste it. Here's our beautiful finished zucchini casserole. It's cheesy, it's creamy, it is the perfect dinner for a Tuesday night. I'm serving mine with a side of sauteed mushrooms just to give it a little more texture and substance. I hope you make this and I hope you love it. I suspect this is going to be a new family favorite. Bon appetit!